get famous?
I done famous already, I told you.
Well, even more.
Yeah,
even more
okay.
famous.
Yeah, man. So, look at this is a little history. Over here. All of these buildings here was wooden building. They used to have like 1% of cement structure. We didn't even know how to do cement construction much. This was mostly wooden building, and they were closely locked together after a while. Right here, this is the first stage of history of the hurricane. In 1961, and before it was 1931. They had a big parade. It was the 10th of September. They had a big parade, and suddenly the hurricane came because we didn't have no weather forecaster, we didn't have no radio connection or anything like that. So suddenly everybody was having this big party in the street with all kind of stuff, and the hurricane came and it killed a lot of people in the city.
But before that it was Mayan, right?
Yeah,
the
before that,
conquistadors?
Yeah, the conquistador, you could see where the ship came and all of that movie. You see the movie name Almost, the guy named Almost. What was that? What's his name of that movie?
One of the conquistadors?
With the movie with a little Indian guy, they call him Almost, but the movie name was...
Almost, yeah.
Yeah, careful. So yeah, so it started from, this is real history now. You see that big jade head? That is the biggest jade they ever found in the whole entire world. In Belize we found that. Right now we have hundreds, even thousands of Mayan mound under the ground, never excavated yet, never discovered yet. That's right there, you're looking at the Battle of St. George's Caye, right?
The boats?
Yeah, 1798. The Spanish tried to invade Belize, right? And there was a handful of us and we voted like, hey, we're gonna stay, we're not gonna run. We're not gonna give up Belize because the Spanish wanted here, and we love the bay, it's beautiful and everything. So a few handful of slaves with a governor and a couple other white people, we were like one, right? So we said, man, we're gonna chase back the Spanish ship because we had more knowledge of our own land. We knew that they're gonna stop in some of the rocks, and so because Belize, after you come in the inner reef, if you don't know how to navigate, your goose is cooked. Your boat gets crushed, you get sick, and all of that. So this is what we did. We had a lot of small boats with one cannon on each one of the boat. There are like 16 guys with a captain and somebody to steer the boat, and they had a cannon, like a 10-pound cannonball on the bow. So look how the ship is going on fire. The big Spanish ship was confused and lost. They don't know we come from all angles. The baymen
too many, they got overwhelmed.
Yeah, so after that, the Spanish didn't come back. This is when they came out of the Mayan, and so the Mayan used to fight back. The savage Mayan used to be like, they used to call them like savage, just like the Indian back in the American thing. And the Mayan used to come out time to time and try to chop these guys on the horse, the Spanish guys,
guerrilla
the British guys. So yeah, this is what used to happen. But after a long time, the British and the slaves used to work together, and used to cut this big tree called the mahogany tree.
Nice.
We cut down a big log, and this log is very expensive today.
Popular.
The British got rich off of the mahogany for famous furniture. The mahogany, you couldn't cut the mahogany if it's not over like so many 100 years old. Right now we are cutting young mahogany, and the mahogany is not so big. A mahogany tree back in those days, it almost like 2 cars, the circumference, the round, right? And this used to be so very tall. So off of one mahogany today, you could make almost $400,000 off of one mahogany tree back in those days, or maybe $500,000.
Yeah.
So we used to cut the tree. After that, hurricane come, mess up thing. A lot of people migrated to the US and other places. And
what's happening here? There's a rebellion or something going on there?
Yeah.
Killing their own.
No, right here.
The Alamo or something almost.
Yeah. Right here, they had, I think they had a Spanish war. So a lot of the Mayan had to seek refuge in Belize. We have like 4 different species, different race of Mayan. We have the Quechua, we have the Mopan Mayan, which is up here. The Quechua is south, going towards the end of Belize around Punta Gorda area. The Mopan Mayan and the Aztecs, which is in Mexico. So these Mayan didn't get along. But after the world power and the Spanish got guns and all of that, the Mayan run from the war, the Quechua Mayan, and they had to seek refuge in Belize. Belize is a lot of people come here for refuge some of the runaway slaves who had their big groups. They seek refuge and they ask the governor for permission from Belize. And right now they still live in the coastal area. You're gonna find a lot of blacker people. They didn't mingle a lot with the whiter people. Yeah. So they're still black, and they're settled in the coastal area, which is beautiful today. Unfortunately, different people seize the opportunity and see that this place is paradise. This is back in the days when I was like 15 years old. This is how the Mayans used to wash in the river. If you go in the river, you see them have on tops right now. Before, when I was like 14, 15, they were topless. You see their breasts hanging out and they have on one little something and they're doing their laundry and they don't even know they're naked because they're not used to clothes.
Yeah, it's not a
so this is normal,
concept.
just like me. I feel crazy when I have to put on a lot of clothes. When I'm on the beach for 9 years, I don't wear no shirt.
Yeah, but you look very nice though, so why would you want to get rid of the nice clothing?
No, because this is European style. I want to go back to my roots.
You don't like wearing these nice shirts?
No, this is too hot, man. You don't feel hot in that? Good. One time I saw a driver across the road. The road was dirt road, it's not paved like now. And I was riding a bicycle and this jaguar jumped across the road. You know what I did? At 360 degrees and I went back home. I said, no way, this jaguar is not dogging me out. But apparently the jaguars, they're so well fed down here in Belize. They have a lot of wild game and they don't like the taste of human yet. So they feed a lot on the wild thing. They're so elusive, they see you before they see you. You see them. So now, coming down, this is from 1981 when we got independence. This was when you were probably born or something.
Yeah.
1981 we got our independence from the British and we handed them back the flag and we start raising our own.
With the crystal skull.
The crystal skull was found more recent than the jade head in the same location. The crystal skull, and that is one of the second biggest finding in the Mayan world. And could you imagine we're surrounded by Guatemala, we're surrounded by Mexico, which is very, very huge with history and culture. And did you know Belize has the best and the biggest history? The scientists are finding out right now that Belize, they're finding out Belize, they put like a real check on it that Belize
is the center of the Mayan,
yes, could be the center of the Mayan world where this first started.
Wow.
Or where everything was. Right now we could walk, I could carry up a big hill. On that big hill where the Mayan kings they used to live.
Really?
It's called Cajalpech. It's a 20-25 minutes walk, 20 minutes walk up a hill.
Yeah.
And you go right there in the courtyard and everything, and I sit where the king used to sit. I go in the room where the king used to go, smoke a cigarette.
Yeah, he's probably smoking some tobacco leaf or something.
Yeah, so I feel like the king, just that the king there were shorter than us.
Yeah,
Mayan
small.
people never grow tall. Look at them. They're mixed with Mayan.
Yeah.
But they don't know that. They don't know the history. But yeah, the Mayan people were short.
That's okay.
Yeah, and they used to be kings. And the Mayan place was geographically, they were located perfect, lined up with a star. And all of that, what they call it, celestial something.
Yeah, they had knowledge of
and
astronomy.
Another thing,
yeah.
They were brightly painted. You see the Mayan ruin right now, it looks just like a ruin. Back in the days when that was just built, those things was brightly colored. And it has the same color of the Africa, like the African color, the red, gold, black, and green. Did you know, I suspect that the Mayan is directly related to the Egyptian. They have a lot of knowledge from the Egyptian and they have the same similar pyramid, similar to the pyramid from the great Giza.
Yeah, and don't the faces, like the front entryway, a lot of them face like direct north?
Yes.
Like exactly.
Exactly. And right now, if you go like 6 miles down, you're gonna find a Mayan ruin. It's a very special Mayan ruin to me because this Mayan ruin name is Sonantonich. It's an X, but you say S, like Sonantonich. Now when you go on that Mayan ruin, they had a big courtyard. The people used to play ball. The Mayan used to play ball, but when they play ball, it bounce and it put their hips and stuff like that. But other kings used to come from all over Central America to go to this courtyard game. And when they go to the game, the winner of the game, his honor is to throw himself off this big Mayan ruin. And he throw himself to the death. And when he bounce, bam, bam, and he's bust up, they believe in the Mayan world that this guy is going to come back in reincarnation and be 10 times richer and 10 times more powerful.
The ruler.
That's what the Mayan theoretically, most of the Mayan findings and so is just like based on a theory because it's not physically well proven. They didn't have video camera like what my friend have right now, and so
Just written.
and now come down to 4 days. This is what we discovered recently. You know what that is, right? Black gold,
Oil.
Texas tea. In my aunt, I could tell you a personal history. Right down in Spanish Lookout, like 10 miles away, my aunt has 180 acres of land. She, unfortunately, she's 84 now, but she sold the land like 6 or 7 years ago. They found this on her land.
Black gold.
Black gold, after she sold it cheap.
Yeah.
She didn't even get $250,000 on her land. 180 acre of land.
She didn't know
jungle,
that it was oil rich.
And she got old and she couldn't take care of all the cattle, and so she sold out over 100 and something head of cattle, milking cows, a few horses and all of that because the caretaker was from Salvador, was giving her trouble and didn't want to come off of the property, and she was old, couldn't do the work that she used to do before. So she sold the property, and the oil company bought the property from a guy, a Mennonite guy, like originally from German worker people, some Christian people, and they bought it and royalty now. So every year or so, the person who owned the land is getting a big money from the oil company just to continue pouring oil into their trucks and selling it other places. This is the Great British Harrier. The Guatemalan, they threatened to come here in the 70s and in the 80s. They threatened to come here and take over back Belize. But when they invaded Belize a little bit, the British got word and the British sent some of these. They got here in a few hours, some hours. When they got here, they had to move back. They realized that, wow, this big force is coming, let's dress back. And one of our soldiers is good for 10 Guatemalan soldiers.
Yeah, strong.
And not
Good
only
fighters.
that, we are good fighters, we are trained by the highly trained British and the Gurkhas and so. Plus, we navigate some of the most dense jungle in the world. Belize have some of the most toughest jungle in the whole entire world.
Rainforest.
And this is where the Mayan used to live, used to call home. These Mayan used to almost barefoot, and this is how they used to live. And they track all of these mountains, and so we're hot. When this place wouldn't have been so hot, imagine if we have all these big canopy trees over our head.
Yeah.
It's hot up there, but the bush create a couple degrees cooler.
Nice.
So let's walk up the hill a little bit.